Every new morning is not just another day on the calendar. It is a divine invitation to rise, to renew, and to reconnect with the purpose of your existence. Each sunrise whispers, you have another chance to heal, another chance to grow, another chance to align your heart with God's plan. ***. Start your day with divine connection. ***. Every morning is a blank page, a sacred opportunity to begin again. The way you start your day determines the rhythm of your spirit. If your first thoughts are filled with peace, your actions throughout the day will flow with purpose. But if your mind begins with chaos, the rest of the day will follow that confusion. That is why morning devotion is not just a ritual, it is a foundation. It is the moment when your soul connects to the source of all strength, before the demands of the world begin to pull you apart. When you wake up and take time to pray, to breathe, to reflect, and to thank God, you are not wasting time, you are creating time filled with meaning. You are setting your spirit in the right direction before your feet even touch the ground. Morning devotion teaches you to slow down before life speeds up. It reminds you that you are not your to-do list, not your schedule, and not your stress. You are a soul designed for connection, peace, and divine guidance. The world will always push you to move fast, but devotion invites you to move with intention. It helps you hear that still, soft voice that says, "Be still and know that I am with you." In that stillness, your heart finds rest and your mind finds clarity. You begin to see that no matter how uncertain the day may seem, you are never facing it alone. When you begin your morning in devotion, you strengthen your inner life. You prepare your heart before you face people, pressure, and problems. You learn to respond with grace instead of reacting with frustration. Devotion is like spiritual armor. It covers you with calmness and guards your peace. It reminds you that you don't have to control everything because God already has a plan. You may not know how the day will unfold, but you can trust that you are guided by divine wisdom. There will be days when you wake up weary or distracted, but even on those mornings, devotion can shift your spirit. Just a few moments of gratitude can lift your mood. Just one heartfelt prayer can turn anxiety into assurance. You may not always feel strong, but when you start your day connected to the Creator, strength will find you. Devotion doesn't demand perfection, it welcomes honesty. It's your chance to bring your worries, dreams, and fears before God and let Him shape them with His peace. As the light of morning enters your room, let it also enter your soul. Let it remind you that you have been given another day, another breath, another opportunity to grow. Speak words of life over yourself. Thank God for what you have and for what is yet to come. Ask for guidance to walk in purpose and protection from distractions that steal your joy. When you fill your morning with devotion, you invite heaven into your heart. You start your day with divine energy that no negativity can destroy. Morning devotion will slowly transform the way you live. You will find yourself more patient, more grateful, and more grounded. You will begin to see beauty in small things and hope in hard moments. You will no longer chase peace because peace will live within you. Each day will feel lighter, not because your challenges disappear, but because your spirit has learned how to rise above them. Morning devotion is not about religion, it is about relationship. It is about meeting your Creator before meeting the world. And when you make that connection your daily habit, your mornings will no longer just begin, they will bloom. Create a sacred space for stillness. There is something powerful about having a place where your soul feels safe, a space that belongs not to the noise of the world, but to your quiet moments with God. Creating a sacred space for morning devotion doesn't require fancy candles, special chairs, or perfect surroundings. It only needs your presence and your willingness to meet the divine in stillness. This sacred space becomes your personal sanctuary, a place where peace meets you every morning, where you leave behind the rush of life and step into calmness. When you choose a specific space to begin your day with devotion, it tells your mind and spirit that this is a time set apart. You are not rushing into your phone, your emails, or your worries. You are stepping into stillness, into a space where you can breathe deeply and allow your thoughts to settle. This could be the corner of your room, a spot by the window, or even your bed before you rise. What matters is not where you sit, but how you sit in awareness, in openness, in peace. Your sacred space becomes a meeting ground between heaven and your heart. When you sit there each morning, you invite peace to dwell with you. Over time, the very air in that space begins to hold the energy of calmness and gratitude. You will notice that when life feels heavy, just being in that place brings you back to balance. It becomes your inner temple, a quiet refuge from the storms of the world. In that stillness, you begin to hear the whispers of guidance that were lost in yesterday's noise. Stillness is not the absence of movement, it is the presence of peace. When you enter your sacred space, you are reminding yourself that before you face the world, you must face your soul. In stillness, the truth begins to rise. You begin to see what really matters. You begin to understand that peace is not something you chase. It is something you return to. Your sacred space is where that return happens. Each morning, bring something simple into that space, a journal, a verse, or even a cup of warm tea. Write what your heart feels, not what it thinks it should say. Speak gratitude aloud or in silence. Read a few lines of inspiration. Pray or simply breathe deeply and let your spirit rest. These moments will build a foundation of inner strength that lasts throughout the day. The more you honor that space, the more it will begin to honor you. There will be mornings when you do not feel like sitting in stillness, when your mind is restless or your heart is heavy. Those are the mornings when devotion is most powerful. Sit there anyway. Even if all you can do is breathe, breathe with intention. Even if all you can say is thank you, let that thank you become your prayer. God meets you in honesty, not perfection. Your sacred space will slowly become a symbol of transformation. It will remind you daily that peace is a choice and stillness is strength. The more time you spend in it, the more your soul will crave it. You will find yourself carrying that calmness wherever you go. The world outside may roar, but inside you there will be quiet, and that quiet will become your power. Begin each morning with gratitude. Gratitude is the golden key that unlocks peace, joy, and divine favor. When you begin your morning with a thankful heart, you change the frequency of your entire day. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is already present. It reminds you that no matter what challenges you face, there is still something to be thankful for. The moment you wake up, before your feet even touch the floor, take a deep breath and whisper words of thanks. Thank God for another sunrise, another breath, another chance to grow and live with purpose. Gratitude is more than a feeling. It is a choice to see the goodness of God even in small things. When you wake up and start your day with appreciation, you align your heart with abundance. Instead of complaining about what you lack, you recognize how much you already have. You may not have everything you want, but you have enough to move forward. You have life, you have hope, you have possibilities. Gratitude transforms ordinary mornings into sacred beginnings. It turns routine into reverence and helps you carry a peaceful spirit throughout the day. It reminds you that every blessing, no matter how small, is evidence of grace. Many people wake up with worry on their minds, thinking about bills, deadlines, and unfinished tasks. But when you wake up with gratitude, you silence fear before it finds a voice. You tell your spirit that you are blessed, that you are guided, and that all things are working together for your good. Gratitude changes your posture from tension to trust. It helps you walk through the day with calmness instead of anxiety. When you look at life through the lens of thankfulness, even difficulties become teachers. You begin to see how challenges refine your character and prepare you for greater things. Morning gratitude can be simple yet powerful. Keep a small notebook beside your bed and write down 3 things you're thankful for each day. They don't have to be grand. Sometimes it's just the warmth of sunlight, the sound of birds, or the comfort of a quiet room. The more you practice gratitude, the more your heart opens. You will start to notice blessings that you used to overlook. Gratitude rewires your perspective, teaching you that joy is not found in possessions but in presence. There will be mornings when gratitude feels hard, when pain or disappointment clouds your heart. On those days, give thanks for strength itself, for the ability to endure, to keep going, to hope again. Gratitude in hard times is the purest form of faith because it declares, even now, I trust. It invites peace into pain and light into darkness. It doesn't deny reality. It just reminds you that there is still beauty to see. When you live a life of morning gratitude, your energy changes. You become more patient, more compassionate, and more content. People around you feel your peace because gratitude radiates warmth. It teaches you to smile through challenges and to trust through uncertainty. Gratitude doesn't remove every problem, but it changes how you face them. Each morning, when you choose to thank God first, you are telling the universe, I am ready to receive this day with joy. And as you do, joy begins to find you again and again. Feed your spirit before the world feeds your mind. The first voices you listen to in the morning shape the rhythm of your entire day. If you begin by listening to the noise of the world, your heart will quickly fill with confusion, comparison, and worry. But if you begin by feeding your spirit, your soul will rise above distractions and rest in peace. The way you start your morning is like planting seeds. If you plant faith, you will harvest strength. If you plant fear, you will harvest stress. Morning devotion is your opportunity to feed your spirit with truth, before the world tries to fill your mind with noise. Before you reach for your phone, reach for your purpose. Before you scroll through messages or social media, scroll through the words of life that nourish your soul. What you put into your mind first thing in the morning determines how you think, act, and feel for the rest of the day. When you begin with God's word, prayer, or reflection, you create an inner peace that no negativity can disturb. You remind yourself that your life is guided by divine order, not by worldly pressure. Feeding your spirit first is not about being religious, it's about being grounded. It's about remembering who you are before the world tries to tell you who to be. Your spirit hungers for peace, truth, and love. If you don't feed it with devotion, it will grow weak and restless. You might find yourself easily irritated, easily distracted, or emotionally drained. But when your spirit is nourished each morning, you carry an inner calm that strengthens you through every challenge. Prayer, meditation, and reflection are spiritual meals that prepare your heart for the day ahead. Just as your body needs food for energy, your spirit needs truth for endurance. Start small. Spend a few minutes reading something uplifting or speaking affirmations rooted in faith. Say to yourself, I am guided. I am protected. I am walking in divine timing. These words are not empty. They are reminders of your spiritual identity. When you fill your morning with this energy, you are less likely to be shaken by negativity later in the day. Your peace becomes stronger than your problems. There will be mornings when you are tempted to skip your devotion, when life feels too busy or too heavy. But those are the mornings when you need spiritual food the most. A hungry spirit cannot lead a peaceful life. Feed your soul first, and everything else will find its order. When you nourish your inner life, you begin to live with intention instead of impulse. You respond with grace instead of anger. You carry light instead of confusion. The world will always try to feed you fear, comparison, and doubt. But when your spirit is full, those things lose their power. You begin to live from the inside out, not the outside in. Your peace no longer depends on circumstances. It flows from within. Every morning, before the noise begins, take time to fill your heart with what is eternal. Let truth be your breakfast and peace be your drink. Feed your spirit first, and your day will follow your faith. When your soul is nourished, your path becomes clear, your steps become lighter, and your heart becomes unshakable. ***, speak life over your day. ***, the words you speak each morning have power. They shape the atmosphere around you and the attitude within you. When you wake up and choose to speak words of life, you are planting seeds of strength, hope, and faith into the soil of your day. Too often, people begin their mornings with words of defeat. I'm tired. I can't do this. Nothing ever goes right. Those words carry energy, and that energy echoes through the rest of the day. But when you rise and declare, today will be a good day, I am strong, I am guided, I am blessed, you shift your spirit and invite divine favor to flow. Speaking life is more than positive thinking. It is spiritual alignment. It is choosing to agree with truth instead of fear, to believe in possibilities instead of limitations. Every word you speak builds either peace or pressure, strength or weakness. So, each morning, open your mouth and speak faith. Tell yourself that you are ready for whatever comes. Tell your heart that it is stronger than it feels. Tell your mind that it will remain focused and calm. When you speak words of life, you are reminding your entire being that God's promises are greater than your problems. Your words carry the vibration of creation. The same way light appeared when God spoke, light appears in your life when you speak words of faith. Say, I walk in peace today, and your mind begins to search for peace. Say, I am favored, and opportunities begin to align. Say, I am healed, and your body starts to respond. The words you speak form the reality you experience. Every morning, you have the power to build your world with your tongue. Even on difficult mornings, when you feel discouraged or afraid, speak life anyway. Speak it through your tears. Speak it through your doubts. Your words are not limited by your emotions. They are driven by your faith. When you declare truth even when you don't feel it, you are showing heaven that you trust the process. And that faith begins to work silently, reshaping your circumstances and renewing your spirit. Start your day by speaking gratitude aloud. Thank God for the simple blessings, for breath, for strength, for another chance to live. Then speak direction. Say, today, I will walk in purpose. I will listen more, love more, and worry less. You don't have to wait for everything to be perfect before speaking peace. Peace is created by your declaration. The more you speak life, the more you begin to believe it. And the more you believe it, the more you live it. Your voice is one of your greatest spiritual tools. Don't use it to complain about what's wrong. Use it to command what's right. When you speak life over your day, you are setting boundaries for negativity. You are declaring that no matter what happens, you will remain centered, focused, and faithful. You are telling your spirit to rise above chaos and walk in confidence. Every morning, choose your words carefully because they are not just sounds, they are seeds. Plant words that grow peace, joy, and courage. Let your voice echo faith into the hours ahead. When you speak life, heaven listens, and your day begins to unfold with divine alignment. Speak life until it becomes your habit, and you will see how every word of faith becomes a door that opens toward blessing. Walk through the day with faith and focus, after spending your morning in devotion. Your next step is to carry that peace with you into the world. Morning devotion is not meant to stay confined to a quiet room. It is meant to shape how you live, how you think, and how you respond throughout the day. When you start your day centered in God's presence, you must also walk through your day grounded in faith and focus. Life will always try to pull your attention in many directions, but when your mind is anchored in peace, distractions lose their power. Faith keeps you steady, and focus keeps you purposeful. Walking in faith means trusting that everything happening around you has a reason. Even when you don't understand it, you trust that it is preparing you for something greater. Faith reminds you that you are guided by divine timing, not by the world's rush. When unexpected challenges come, instead of reacting in fear, you pause, breathe, and remember that the same God who woke you up this morning will carry you through this day. Faith gives you the courage to stay calm when others panic, to stay kind when others are harsh, and to stay patient when life seems delayed. It transforms ordinary days into opportunities for spiritual growth. Focus is the other half of this spiritual balance. Without focus, faith can drift into passivity. Focus is what turns belief into action. It's about keeping your heart set on what truly matters and refusing to be distracted by noise or negativity. As you move through your day, many things will try to steal your peace, conversations, opinions, frustrations, but you must guard your attention like a sacred gift. Stay focused on your purpose. Stay focused on your blessings. Stay focused on what feeds your soul instead of what drains it. There will be moments when your faith feels small or your focus wavers. When that happens, return to your morning devotion in your mind. Remember the peace you felt in prayer, the gratitude that filled your heart, the stillness that grounded you. Carry those feelings as spiritual armor. Speak softly to your heart and say, "I am walking in peace." This quiet reminder will recenter you no matter where you are or what you're facing. To walk in faith and focus also means to walk with intention. Don't rush through your day as if you're racing against time. Move with awareness, listen deeply, speak with kindness. Choose your responses carefully. When you slow down and act with purpose, you invite divine order into your steps. You begin to see how every moment, even the small ones, is part of a bigger plan. As you move from morning into midday and evening, let your devotion continue through your attitude. Be patient with others, forgive quickly, and let peace be your response instead of anger. Let gratitude guide your actions and compassion shape your interactions. The strength you gathered in the morning is meant to flow through every word you speak and every choice you make. When you live this way, faith becomes more than belief. It becomes a way of being. Focus becomes more than attention. It becomes direction. And peace becomes more than a feeling. It becomes your foundation. So each morning, rise with devotion, and each day, walk with faith and focus. Let your steps be steady, your heart open, and your mind clear. For when you carry the spirit of morning devotion with you, your whole life becomes a prayer in motion.